Good evening, everyone, and welcome to drinknectar.com. I am your host, Josh Wade, and this is the internet's place to explore the five senses of coffee and wine. Tonight, we're going to be continuing our under $10 challenge, and baseball season is right around the corner, and I have been on a hunt to find 9 starting wines for my all-star lineup of inexpensive, affordable wines. Some of these recommendations come from some of my Twitter friends. We've got the Washington Wine Guy, the Atlanta Wine Guy, and as well as Raylene Wine, who recently hosted online a cheap wine challenge. So I went out to the store with all these recommendations from those folks as well as from others with my list, and came home with 6 to 10 wines. I have a few more to go back and get, but I'm only going to do 3 at a time on the hopes to find a starting lineup. I already have found a starting lineup or a starting Sauvignon Blanc, and I have a Zinfandel that I'm playing around with bringing back up from the minors, but we're going to check these guys out. It's been an exciting week on Twitter for me. I recently passed 1,000 followers, so yay me on that one. I also was ranked 7th for the week on postrank.com. We're going to jump in and taste a wine that recently tasted online with the Washington Wine Guy. This is a Columbia Crest 2007 Grand Estates Cabernet Sauvignon. I was excited to try this. I picked this wine up for $8.88 at the local Safeway, the local grocery store. People. So let's give it a swirl. You see the color is dark, very inky. You can't see your hand through it. It's a little watery around the edges. Let's give it a sniff. This wine, like I said, has been open for about 48 hours and is still presenting some of the same characteristics that it did a few days ago. Not a lot on the nose is what really the overwhelming response was from folks. But what I did get out of it was some vanilla and some cocoa. There's just not a lot of berries coming through. Let's give it a sip. Finally, when you do taste this wine after it's been sitting there for a few days, you do get some of that fruit coming forward. It's not overwhelming. It's slightly watery on the front end, but you start to pick up some of that dark fruit, and then the vanilla is nice as the oaked process comes through. The vanilla is nice on the back end. Makes it a little more smooth than a typical full-bodied, big, bold Cabernet Sauvignon. So all in all, for $8.88, I may have to consider this in the minor leagues for the Cabernet Sauvignon. And this one is a Bogle Petite Sirah. Petite Sirah is mostly found in California, and the Petite is a little bit of a misnomer because it is not a petite wine. Typically, it's a very big and bold wine, peppery and spicy. So we're going to give this one a try. But every baseball team needs those extra players to come in, and so I think the same thing it is with wine. You know, I would not be a Petite Sirah drinker on an everyday basis per se. I know some people that are, but certainly one to pull in out of the bullpen as a closer or to bring as a conversation piece. So first thing I notice on this with the swirl is this is an amazingly dark wine. Far more dark plum than even the Cabernet Sauvignon that we just tried. So let's give this one the sniff. Once again, a little restrained. I think that is going to be the characteristic across all under $10 wines, is going to be the nose is slightly restrained. I do pick up some, again, some dark berry fruits, some black cherries in there, and so you can tell that there's going to be some spice on the sip because you can start to pick it up through the nose when you give it that deep smell. So let's give it the sip. Immediately a lot more fruit forward on this wine. The very, very front end, you did pick up that fruit, and on the back end, it's extremely strong on the tannin. There's a lot of structure on this wine, so definitely some spice. Not a lot of structure and character to it. The fruit tends to be a little uninteresting, but all in all, it's not bad for $9.95 a lot of times. But this is a Wrenwood 2006 Zinfandel, also out of California. Also purchased for under $9 at a local store, the Rocket Market. So this particular wine, let's give it a pour here. first thing I noticed right away is this wine is incredibly translucent. It's more on the darker, I guess a brownish plum color, or sour cherries in there. Let's give it a sniff. Zero fruit for me on this sniff. There's no fruit. There's some mustiness, some earth, some dirt that I'm getting on it. A little disappointed. Unfortunately, still having a hard time finding a Zin for my starting lineup. But we'll hold out hope here. Let's give it the sip. This wine is really just a little bit more than glorified grape juice. I apologize to the makers of Wrenwood for any comments on that, but it really is not a very good offering even for a $10 bottle of wine. I've had some others, the Dancing Bull and the Ravenswood Zin that are out there, even the Bogle Zin that they offer. So all in all, this is definitely not going to make the starting lineup. This will be sent down to single A ball to play with the other inferior wines. I know we're all struggling financially in these difficult times, and so if you can find some great wines that can help all of the readers find a label that they can trust, put them in the comments below. I'll certainly pick them up and add them to the challenge for some future videos that we can share together. So I encourage you to enjoy life with friends and to drink happy. Cheers.